Setuf, you are on the line. What is going on?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. We're at the tail end of the show, so we want to kind of keep up the pace a little bit. So let's get to it. What do you want to talk to us about?
Yeah, so I would like to know from your perspective, when does a fetus become a sentient being?
It's a great question. I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I don't know. I've read a lot. I'm not going to say a lot. I haven't done as much research as I would say people who are really interested have done, to be honest with you. So I don't know what the criteria is. And I'm not, it may be the fact that the people who have studied this stuff the most may not have a demonstrated criteria that works the best either. There's a lot about this idea of sentience that we don't know the full parameters of. So if you were to ask me, to be completely honest with you, when it means for a fetus to become a human being, I don't know if I can tell you. Yeah. Richard, do you know?
Okay.
No, I'm not a biologist. I don't have an expertise in that field at all. I don't.
Yeah. If somebody does know, I'd love to have a conversation about it, but I genuinely don't. So hopefully that answers your question, Setuf. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, that does answer the initial question. I mean, not directly because you don't know. I would rather have loved that you answered what you answered the other caller, which was at viability. You think?
Yeah. So I think it can, because like viability to me, Setuf, is like a pragmatic distinction, but it's not a completely bulletproof thing. Like I said before, I don't believe that it is. I think it works for like a lot of circumstances, but it doesn't cover everything, because we have seen people like fetuses who have lived outside the womb in what has traditionally been times where they couldn't have, and they've lived through that. So like viability has been questioned in recent years as a criteria and as a metric. So I don't have a good, complete, comprehensive, systematic thing where I can say this is when it's good and this is when it's bad. I'll leave it up to people who really know what they're talking about to do that, but I simply don't know at this time.
Okay, but you would agree that at some point during the pregnancy, the fetus becomes a sentient being deserving of moral consideration?
Yes, I do. Do you think that, Richard?
It depends what you mean by sentience. The sentience is not always a well-defined term. If you mean, is it a being that's capable of life on its own? Yeah, that's that. I accept that. And then you talk. If you're using that as an argument, then you can say, well, under those circumstances, we should all be vegan because sentient beings are alive. And we shouldn't kill them. If that's the argument, if some people use sentience as to mean self-conscious or self-consciously aware, and in that case, that doesn't apply to the human even after it's been born for a while. So this is a wide-ranging subject, which needs a lot more time than we've got here, I think, to discuss fully.
But if we're talking about, like a baby the day before it's born, should it have moral consideration? Like, yes, I do. But I couldn't tell you exactly where that line is drawn. I really couldn't. Not at this time, anyway.
Yeah, cool. So thanks, guys, for the nice conversation. I don't want to take too much of your time. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Setuf. And there we go. We talked at the very beginning. Well, I did. I monologued while you were gone for a bit, Richard, about this idea of saying when we can say when we don't know something. I think it's important. Maybe there's going to be people in the comment section that's going to say, "Oh, well, Dan, duh, you should have said X, Y, and Z. You should know about this. That's cool. I hope to learn more from you. I've certainly learned a lot from this community. I've certainly never been perfect in some of my responses. I've definitely changed my thoughts on things, even since I've started hosting, which is fantastic. And I still consider at least questions about when a human being is a human being an open question. And that is my opinion on it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I think that abortion should be completely off the table until we kind of figured this question out. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think that's safe, and I don't think that's healthy for all parties involved. But that's all she wrote. That's all I got to say on that.